Hello there! Today we look into the features of the button block. This block is included in the Caledros Basic Blocks WordPress plugin. This plugin can be installed directly from the plugins section of the WordPress dashboard. It's also available for download on wordpress.org and from my GitHub account. Links are provided in the video description. Button text control. The button text control allows us to change the text of the button block. It's a simple text field, so just type the new text directly. We can use plain text and even emojis. On Windows, the keyboard shortcut to open the emoji picker is the Windows key plus period. However, keep in mind that emoji appearance may vary across operating systems. Button link control. The link control allows us to add a link to the button block. It's a simple text field. We just need to copy and paste the button link directly. However, we must make sure the link is correctly formatted before saving. Typography control. The typography control allows us to select the font family, font style, and font weight of the button block. The font style and weight depend on the font family that is selected. To add a new font family, go to Appearance, Editor, Styles, and then Typography. In this section, we can also change the default typography for text, links, headings, captions, and the default Gutenberg button blocks. To register a new font family, click on Manage Fonts. We can upload a custom new font, or we can install it directly from Google Fonts. To install a new font, just select it and then click on Install. By doing this, we will add a new font family with its available font styles and weights. Then we will save the new style changes. Now the new font family, its styles and weights are available for the button block in the Gutenberg editor. Font size control. This control allows us to change the font size of the button text. We can choose this value from a list of font sizes defined by the active WordPress theme. To modify the list of font sizes, we go to Appearance, Editor, Styles, Typography, Font Sizes, and then to Font Sizes presets. In this section, we can change the values of each font size. Also, we can add new font sizes to the theme. Additionally, we can set a custom font size. The available units are pixels, EM, REM, the viewport width unit, and the viewport height unit. Letter spacing control. The letter spacing control allows us to change the amount of space between the letters of the button text. By default, the button block has a letter spacing of normal. However, we can set a custom value for this property. The available units are pixels, EM, and REM. Background color controls. There are two controls for changing the button block background color, one for light mode and one for dark mode. For light mode, we can choose a custom color, or we can use a color from the theme palette. The controls for the dark mode color are identical to the light mode. To preview the dark mode color, we just need to enable the dark mode option in the plugin sidebar. Hover color controls. There are two controls for changing the hover color of the button background, one for light mode and one for dark mode. For light mode, we can choose a custom color, or we can choose a color from the WordPress theme palette. The controls for the dark mode color are identical to the light mode. To preview the dark mode color, we just need to enable the dark mode option in the plugin sidebar. Text color controls. There are two controls for changing the text color of the button block, one for light mode and one for dark mode. For light mode, we can choose a custom color or we can use a color from the theme palette. The controls for the dark mode color are identical to the light mode. To preview the dark mode color, we just need to enable the dark mode option in the plugin sidebar. Border controls. There are 5 settings to control the button block border. 1 for the border style, 1 for the border width, 2 for the border color, and 1 for the border radius. By default, a new button block does not have a visible border. A visible border requires a style different from none, a width greater than 0, and a color different from transparent. The border style control allows us to set different border styles for each side of the button. However, we can set the same style for the 4 button sides. The border width control allows us to set different widths for each side of the button. Additionally, we can use the same width for the 4 button sides. There are 2 controls for the border color, one for light mode and one for dark mode. We can set different colors for each side of the border, or we can use the same color. Like other color controls, we can use a custom color or pick one from the theme color palette. Finally, the border radius control allows us to add rounded corners to the button. We can set different border radius values for each corner of the button. The available units are pixels and percentages. Margin control. The margin control allows us to set a different margin for each side of the button block. However, we can also set a single margin value for all button block sides. Padding control. We can use a global padding predefined by the active WordPress theme, or we can set a custom value. Also, we can set different paddings for each side of the button block, or we can use the same value for all button sides. Thank you for watching.